welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Pauper, and this is in preparation for the Pauper Format Cup at MagicCon Chicago that I will be competing in at the end of February. I've been releasing Pauper the last few Tuesdays as I try the different counterspell decks that are legal in the format right now and putting up numbers in the format right now. Mono Blue Fairies was first. While that is the best performing counterspell deck right now, I didn't entirely love the play patterns. That deck doesn't play Brainstorm, Ponder. It doesn't give you these cantrip selection. It does rely entirely on tempo and velocity to get games won. I'm a little worried about that. Then I tried Dimir Terror, which is a Tolarian Terror deck that splashes black for cards like Snuff Out and Suffocating Fumes. And while it clearly felt clunkier than the Mono Blue deck, because obviously you've added a color to a deck, that is a Brainstorm Ponder deck, and having cards that can solve weird problems for you, like your opponent casts 2 Cold Author Rebirths on turn 2 and now you have to beat 6 goblins. The black deck can do that, and the mono blue deck mostly can't. This deck is somewhere in the middle of those two decks. By the numbers, it is performing better than Dimir Terror, according to MTG Goldfish, and worse than Blue Fairies. It does not have the splash color to solve various problems, but it does have the Ponder, Brainstorm, Cantrip stuff. It has Tolarian Terror and Cryptic Serpent and Delver of Secrets. This is a lot of big creatures we could cast cheaply. Deem Inferior is a card that I have not played with before. I'm excited to try this one. If we ever cast this for 1 mana, it's going to be pretty nutso. This is a removal spell, the likes of which the Blue Fairies deck doesn't really have. They're playing Snare Master Sprite, just a 3 mana tap and stun a thing, 1/1 flying. Like, that's kind of wonky. This is a lot better than that. Sleep of the Dead, also tap and stun target thing, and then you could escape this for 3 mana and do it again. Get over the finish line with your big creatures. My gut feeling is that I'm going to like the Black Splash more than the Mono Blue experience, but I'm going to try it. I got to give all these decks the honest shake and see what I want to do at MagicCon Chicago. Let's get into the league. I'm on the draw in round 1. There are 0 lands in this hand. I am going to mulligan. Here we go. There are more lands in this one. I'm going to keep this hand and bottom Lorien Revealed. I guess that depends how spicy I want to be, because Brainstorm plus Lorien Revealed is a shuffle effect and another land. I think I want to just keep the guaranteed lands, though. I'm actually really excited that Mental Note is a Pauper staple these days. This is a beautiful foil in real life, and I'm excited to cast it. Shambling Ghast. So this is probably the Gleesard deck. I think Shambling Ghast is in that deck. Shambling Ghast pretty good against Delver of Secrets if they can sack it, but here we go. This is what my hand does. When this dies, target creature gets -1 or create a treasure. This is just the Terramorphic Expanse. Yeah, there we go. Goodbye, Delver. Stinks, but not unexpected. It did cost them a treasure to do that, though. It's not like I just didn't do anything. And there's more where that came from. Cast Delver, pass. Now I can end step Brainstorm, flip my Delver, and shuffle with Lorien Revealed if I want to do all those things. I can also end step Mental Note and then cast Brainstorm in my upkeep. I got a lot of choices here. It will depend what my opponent does. Kicker, Wellspring, Colony Garden, end step Brainstorm. I do want this Delver to flip. I'm going to put back land and Lorien Revealed. I can use Lorien Revealed to flip the Delver, and then I can Mental Note to clear these bad cards. Oh, another Mental Note. Let's go. Okay, draw for turn. Sleep of the Dead. I have drawn 2 cards this turn, which means Deem Inferior is on. I think I should be saving that. I'm going to Mental Note again. Ponder. Keep the goods flowing. Terror and Counterspell. I do want both of these cards. Okay, try not to die, and then cast Terror, hold up Counterspell next turn, and apply Real Pressure. Duress. You can have one of these. I hid the Counterspell. Deem Inferior looks like the better card to me, but I don't know what's in their hand. They did take Deem Inferior. And the Brood Scale has arrived. Searching for a tapped basic plain swamp or forest. Lizard confirmed. That name is so funny to me. Sadistic Glee plus this lizard. That's the portmanteau at play here. Tolarian Terror and attack for 3, hold up counterspell. I'm drawing a land next turn so I can add Cryptic Serpent and still hold up counterspell. Village Rites. Yep, go for it. I'm not countering anything that isn't Sadistic Glee. My opponent's gonna run out of time sooner than later to figure this out because their life total is dwindling. We'll probably chump with the plant here because they've seen Sleep of the Dead in my hand and they don't want to give me too much velocity to just combo kill them in a turn. Okay, they're adapting right now. That's fine. That makes another blocker for next turn or a mana for their turn, but it doesn't affect this combat. Island, Cryptic Serpent, conspicuously leaving up blue again. Putting Sadistic Glee on Basking Rootwalla results in, or Basking Broodscale results in infinite colorless mana and an infinitely large Basking Broodscale. That's the combo. I'm gonna sleep the spawn because if they have to chump block with the Broodscale, that is, yeah, this is a lethal attack. I could also flash back or escape the sleep, but that then loses to any kind of Doomblade effect. Okay, they got something here. Or they can flash back the Eviscerator's Insight at the very least. Yeah, I'm not going to fight over this. I have a forced block and a counterspell up. If they lose their lizard in combat here, that's great for me. And they've just had enough. Cool. Tempo. I'm trying to sort my sideboard so it's more visible, but sorting by color, mana value, and rarity are all completely pointless here. I guess there are technically some. Mana value gives me the most diverse spread in that 3 of my 15 cards don't cost 1. Okay, I can see the cards now. Null counters Sadistic Glee. Echoing Truth bounces a lizard that is about to have Sadistic Glee. Null also counters things like Ichor Wellspring, which are part of their engine. Although the lizard is colorless, it's not actually an artifact, unfortunately. Stupid Eldrazi breaking all the rules. I don't know if I want all these. I'm pretty sure I'm sure I want the Echoing Truths, and then maybe a Null 1, and then a Null 2. Like, this is my hierarchy here. Spell Pierce seems pretty reasonable. The Sleep of the Dead found a home. And anything I can mill over for value is pretty dope. Tolarian Revealed is part of the deck's mana, but I think I can afford to lose 1. Spell Pierce is unlikely to counter Sadistic Glee on the turn where it matters, but it's pretty likely to counter something like Ichor Wellspring if I have it on time. Is cutting Spell Pierces for Annuls actually makes sense. I'm not going to have room for this third Annul. This is a pretty tight package, actually, for this matchup. Maybe I shave a Deep Analysis. Okay, I'm going to try this. Cutting the Deep Analyses makes me a little nervous because we're playing 8 Thought Scours, and being able to scour into spells is the combo we're looking for. All right, I'll keep my hand. Annul would also counter something like Nile Spellbomb that would keep my deck from doing its job. Or Relic of Progenitus kind of thing. A Mental Note. I'm going to ponder first. Okay, a Counterspell, a Brainstorm, and land number 3. I'm going to put the Brainstorm in my hand. We know they play Duress, and I want access to that Counterspell. Have the Abzan Landscape, sacking it in their main phase. Playing around Stifle, I respect it. Imagine if Stifle was downshifted to Common. What a stupid decision that would be. Listen to me just being mad at Wizards of the Coast over this fantasy I just made up. God, Wizards are so stupid. Why would they make Stifle a common? Brian, they didn't. Don't tell me things. I'm going to Mental Note. I have access to double Tolarian Revealed. I know this is milling 1 island. Just milled another island. That's fine. And looks like they played around Spell Pierce with an Eviscerator's Insight. That's fine. I didn't have that card anyway. Psycholorian. Okay, I got lots of lands now. Good on those. Delver, start applying pressure. I can counter or bounce a lizard. I'd try countering it first, but if they duress me and then play lizard, Echoing Truth is at least here to keep me from losing this turn. Ichor Wellspring. As much as I don't want them to have that, I don't think this is where I pick my fight right now. Another landscape. Shambling Ghast. I don't see a sack outlet for that on the board right now. It would have to be a 0 mana play. I don't think Pauper has very many of those available. Brainstorm will definitely flip Delver. Okay, Brainstorm. Yikes. I'm going to put back land, and I actually kind of just want to put back 2 lands here and maybe not flip the Delver. Yeah, I actually think not flipping Delver is, or maybe flipping Delver. It goes to random here, but giving up on the for sure thing Delver versus giving myself a bad Brainstorm. Rewarded, Thought Scour on top, in for 3. Those are the kind of plays right there that it's like, you could hyper focus on flipping Delver, especially with the -1 effect in play, but I have multiple X5 creatures in my hand. I'm going to Scour myself, which will guarantee Tolarian Terror this turn. I'm going to play Terror, leave up the 2 1-mana, or the 2 2-mana interaction spells. I just don't want to give a combo deck forever to figure it out. Duress. Okay, have a peek. I have 2 pieces of interaction for your combo. I took the counterspell. And Mesmeric Fiend. That's fun. Alright. I no longer have 2 pieces of interaction for the combo. And Mesmeric Fiend works the old-fashioned way, where if I Echoing Truth it in response to a trigger, they get to take Mental Note or Serpent forever. Okay, I'm going to Mental Note in the end step, looking for a counterspell or bounce spell. Would be nice. Demon Fury is a sorcery. Tolarian Terror. Okay, I can just put lethal on board and hope for the best. Attack with my critters. They are chumping the Terror. Gonna make a treasure out of this thing. There's your treasure. And then I have, this costs 3. I can Demon Inferior the Mesmeric Fiend, hold up Echoing Truth, maybe slow them down a little. I can't add to the board that way. Okay, so they replay Fiend for 2. Then they play Lizard. If their hand is land Lizard, then this doesn't matter. Okay. I'm just going to put my 2 creatures on the board and hope they don't have it, because I can't beat a mana source anyway. And they don't know about this Demon Inferior. If they respect it like it's counterspell, they could buy me some time. But they don't really have time to respect it like it's counterspell. There's the Walla. There's the Glee. I mean, this is just infinite mana and an infinitely large creature. This doesn't kill me itself, unless they have another thing in hand. And I could deem the infinite creature inferior next turn. And we'll see where this goes. They have at least Eviscerator's Insight. That's another 3 cards, and they'd have a treasure left over. Alright, I'm just going to F6 and see where this goes. Unlike the modern deck, I know Karn the Great Creator is not going to be the last card in their hand to just kill me outright. This Nightblade thing, whenever a token you control leaves the battlefield, okay, they do have the win. That'll do. Okay, so they had it all, which is fine. Like double Duress into your combo is a reasonable sequence to have access to. On the play, Spell Pierce is looking a lot tastier, but Annul counters the Glee all the time. All right, yeah, I have to give up a Spell Pierce for Annul. Okay, I'm going in. Maybe I should have had that the whole time. I will keep this hand. Nobody knows what it does yet. And Deep Analysis is a beautiful foil in real life too. And I play with 7th edition foils when I play Pauper for my lands. This would be a beautiful deck to construct IRL. You don't have to play foils in Pauper, obviously. You don't have to play foils ever, but I do. They have the Abzan Landscape, getting their F6 value by fetching first. I'm going to Mental Note in the end step. Build over some spells. Picking up a second Echoing Truth gives me a little Duress Insurance, which means I'm holding 3 answers to the combo as long as I leave up any mana. I'm going to Scour myself. If I had a Delver or a Terror, I would play it. Okay, now I'm going to pass. I have a Null up. I think I would annul an Ichor Wellspring here. Malevolent Rumble. Cannot annul that. They found Sadistically Shambling Ghast as options here. They took the Glee. Knowing that they're holding Glee makes me less likely to annul anything that's not Glee. Counterspell. I do need a threat to play the game, though. Lorien revealed. Okay, I mean, I have a bunch of responses up, but this is not how you actually win games. I've milled 2 of my Serpents already. There's 10 ways to win the game left in my deck. Tap land. I'm going to cycle Lorien revealed in the end step. I could echo the Eldrazi spawn as like kind of a pseudo Stone Rain, but I don't think that's a good use of my card. Another Lorien revealed. We love to see it. Except that we don't. I would love to just cast Deep Analysis and dig for a way to actually win the game, but that does not appear to be on the table for me here. If I tap out, I might lose. At 5 mana, I might try it. At 6, I would definitely do it. Okay, I'm going to counter Mesmeric Fiend. I just don't want them to know all this stuff that I have. It would be easy if you don't know what to play around to walk into one or more of these things. But if you know that all, it's harder. Okay, there's the Brood Scale. Tamiyo Safekeeping, Swamp Mesmeric Fiend, also options. They took the Swamp, so they already have a Brood Scale. They already have a Brood Scale. Shambling Ghast, you're in there. I was entertaining the idea of not cycling Lorien Revealed and just going to discard and dumping the Deep Analysis. But now I actually have 5 mana worth of interaction in my hand for their combo. And I want to make sure that I have access to all of it. If I draw a Terror or Serpent, I'll play it though. All right. Another Lorien. And I'm there ready to cast it. If they go for it here and whiff, maybe I have room to draw 3 cards. I'd probably cast Deep Analysis first, leaving up at least 1 mana. Eviscerator's Insight generates a treasure off the Ghast. They've got Glee and 5 unknowns in the hand. I could cycle this Lorien, which guarantees my ability to cast Deep Analysis while leaving up interaction next turn. Or I could just see if I draw a land naturally and chill otherwise. Alright, well, this thing resolves. Yeah, this is just a 3/3 on beats, even if it never picks up a Glee. Okay, I did find a land, but now that the Lizard is down and dirty, I don't think I want to take the turn off to Deep Analysis. Inevitability does not favor me here. If I get a 5/5 down, they got to start doing stuff, but that is not the case right now. Oh god. Discard any number of cards. Target player reveals their hand, and you choose an online card for each card discarded this way. Oh my goodness. Well, I've never seen this card in life, and it's about to destroy me. Okay, if I Echoing Truth, the Rootwalla, I'm going to call it Rootwalla forever. Brood Scale. I also just can't read this treatment. Okay, how many cards are they going to discard here? All right, this resolves, and I lose. Like, bouncing the Spawn doesn't even work. They discarded 2 cards, which was exactly the right number. Yep, there they go. So they have their infinite mana combo here. A second Glee on one of the spawns kills me if they have whatever that chitter is. That drains me out, that gets me. Okay, they're passing the turn. This gives me a chance to redraw some piece of interaction. Island's not it. Okay. Deep Analysis versus Lorien. I'm going to play Lorien. It just sees more cards. Delver, Thought Scour, Cryptic, Serpent. Oh, these are not the answers I was looking for. I'm going to play Delver, which is at least a chump blocker, if I need to buy a turn to dig further. They've seen Annul now. Something they have to think about, though. They sculpted this turn. I don't think they should really play around it. And if they have 2 Glees, I just lose. There's a Glee. And we're doing stuff. There is 1 Eviscerator's Insight in the graveyard right now. And Last Rites. What a card that is. Obviously, if I have a counterspell, I just counter that. But didn't know. Or didn't have it, obviously. The Ichor Wellspring. That's 3 more cards with Eviscerator's Insight. They do have to show me a win con. Both of their spawns are summoning 6, so a second Glee doesn't actually kill me here anymore. Any removal spell does. There's Eviscerator's Insight. Plus 3 cards. Hope they're just 3 lands. Opponent's attacking. I'm blocking. Okay, we got over that hump. Now I gotta find one of my bounce spells. I have Thought Scour plus Deep Analysis to find the goods. Cryptic Serpent could jump block another round. I scour myself. I milled over a counterspell. Hate to see that go. But I need a bounce spell before that even helps. Check my graveyard. I don't believe there are any Deep Analyses in here yet. Oh, okay. I'll pay the iron price on this one. Another Deep Analysis. Deep Analysis myself again. Yikes. Alright, well, I have 2 blockers. Delver and Terror. Just grinding my way through this. I'm going to run out of cards in my deck before I find an answer. I didn't mull over the Sleepy Time either. Colony Garden. second Brood Scale, and they're just in combat. I will block with Delver. Is the flyer better than the 5/5? I feel like the ward is at least worth something. I don't know. They have infinite mana. The ward doesn't matter. All right. Another turn of digging. That might have been a block with the wrong creature. Come on, deck. Cards that are good. Another blocker. Deep Analysis. Mental Note, Brainstorm. Okay. I can Brainstorm and then dump the bad cards to Mental Note. Spell Pierce and Island are both bad here. Mental Note, Island, Terror, Delver. Do I want Serpent? No, I have to jump with one of these. I'll play Delver. That's my favorite jump. Yeah, they have infinite creatures too. Yeah, the 5/5s just don't matter until I deal with the combo. I still think the 5/5s are going to get it done faster once I clear the combo, which has to be the plan. There's 18 cards left in my deck. There's going to be 15 after I Mental Note. There's going to be 13 after I Deep Analysis. I have so many spawns. They're doing something now. Adapting the other Brood Scale. End of turn. Mental Note. Mental Note's the one that doesn't target. Thought Scour, I might even target them at this point just to play around decking. I milled over 2 more Thought Scours. Come on, deck. Brainstorm. Okay. Deep Analysis first. Gives me more options to brainstorm with. Annul. Okay. Right on time for that one. Brainstorm. Okay. Found Deem Inferior and Counterspell. Now we have a game. Okay. I have 6 mana. It could be 7. Deem costs 1. I need the Counterspell up. Counterspell, Annul, have to stay in the hand. Deem, Counterspell, Annul, Terror, Delver. I'm going to put back... Delver's never going to flip with this sequence, but I don't think it has to. I'm going to put back Island Serpent and Deem Inferior. They could have Tameo Safekeeping, but I can counter it. I'll deem this Inferior. Okay, that is now the second card in their deck. I'm going to attack for 10. Got to start working through these chumps somehow. 11 cards left in my deck. They got plants and spawns. Let's clear those out. And then I can play another Terror and a Delver that's not going to flip. I could play Delver that's not going to flip with 2 counters still up. Or I could play Serpent with 1 counter up. I'm going to play Serpent with 1 counter up. This just is so much... It hits so much harder. The Delver's just irrelevant for 2 turns. And if I have to chump block, it's because my opponent reassembled their combo, which hopefully my counterspell is going to stop. Eviscerator's Insight. These are not my fight. They just drew another Brood Scale, but it's not Brood Scale I'm worried about. It's Sadistically. They already have a Brood Scale. Yeah, that's fine. We knew about that one. Shambling Ghast. That's not my fight either. Adapting. So they do have 2 3/3s now, which means they could double block a Terror and win the combat. Or at least trade up in the combat. They have 7 damage they can attack back with. I'm drawing another Serpent this turn, and I'm about to untap into having all my counters available. Okay. I am sending the squad. This is all we do. Born to die. Fight, fight, fight. Saving the Delver till post-combat so the Shambling Ghast can't just clear it for freezies. Though they have Eviscerator's Insight in the graveyard, so that's always live. But that does sack a creature with power. Let's put you in the spawn abyss here. They did block with the Ghast. They didn't line up any double blocks or triple blocks that would kill one of my creatures. They can sack these 3 spawns to Eviscerator's Insight, the Ghast, and none of the creatures actually die in combat, but they are gone. They are not blockers on future turns, which is what I need here. Okay, there it goes. Probably making a treasure with this, because minus doesn't matter. They've got 24 cards left in their deck. Cryptic Serpent and Delver. Delver will not flip this turn. I believe I'm drawing land next turn. Is that how I stack this? I think so. Something's happening in response to this Serpent. Right there, eviscerating another spawn. Yeah, keep sacking spawns. That's what I need from you right now. And Delver, obviously with 7 cards in their hand, Duress plus Sadistically becomes something I have to worry about, but they need 2 Duresses or 2 Glees, or 3 Glees. They need some combination of 3 Duresses and Glees to actually get through me this turn. I'm going to counter Duress so they don't know what I'm actually working with. Because someone would do this even if the last card in their hand is a land. It is correct to just counter that Duress. Okay. I have an Ulfer Glee. Do they have another Glee? They don't have another Duress, so they would have played it first. Now I can F6. What a relief. Wellspring. We have only seen 2 Glees out of their deck, and they've drawn 2/3 of their deck at this point. There is another Eviscerator's Insight in the graveyard as well that could sack this Wellspring. They also just drifted under 5 minutes on their clock, which is a resource that matters. Okay, Delver looks at this island on top of my deck. I think that's how I stack that, yeah. There's 2 things happening here with this Delver, which is, 1, my opponent can read that Delver didn't flip, which means I didn't draw Counterspell. Or I could be a master genius and I did draw Counterspell, but decided not to reveal it to Delver. So they think that. And all I can do is bash. At this point, they can go to 5 or they could start losing Brood Scales. I think they're realizing that Serpents have more power than Terrors do as they realign their chump blocks. You'll probably see an Insight sacking this Brood Scale. Okay. Hexproof Indestructible gain 2 life. Or they'll just save it. That's fine. And then we'll see the Insight sacking the Wellspring. There it goes. Snuff Out is in their deck. If they draw 1, they could kill a Serpent, but they've already blocked the Serpent, so that doesn't even matter. They're at 12. And they need 2 Glees or a Glee plus a removal spell to blow me out here. Colony Garden. This deck's really good at wasting time. I'll give it that. Another Deadly Dispute. Duress. All right. Now I can F6 again. Am I dead? They have a Glee. That doesn't kill me itself. They adapt. I'm currently on the docket to take 6 damage in combat this turn and then kill them on the backswing, unless they have their Sack Dope or another Glee or a removal spell. All right, they do have the Sack Dope. I'm not going to see if they can click 14 times in 2 minutes. I believe they can. That was a really good match, but it was a sign of what happens if you're not ahead, which is my criticism of these mono blue Pauper decks. I think I played my first creature somewhere around turn 7 or 8 this game, and then the game ended up being pretty close. Like, what if this exact same game happened, but I just had Delver on turn 1 or Terror on turn 3? I think I win pretty easily, but instead they just happened to be in the bottom half of my deck, or I milled past them randomly with my Thought Scours. That's just something to think about. On to the next round. That was really good, though. The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, MagicCon, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at TOAMagic.com. Eternal lives here. On the draw for round 2 with an Island Ponder Keep situation. Applies in Pauper too. Hers is mine. Wow, okay. I haven't seen Tron in a minute. Delver, get in there. I drew my land, so I don't have to worry about pondering into a land, and if your opponent leads on Hers is mine, you should probably start applying pressure. Even if I didn't draw the land there, I would have played Delver. Ooh, Blue Tron. Fun. Energy Refractor. When this enters, draw a card, and then it filters. All right, Delver, can we get it? All natural. I do not want to reveal Island. Sad. Tough beats. Ponder can set up Delver for next turn. 2 Demon Inferiors. Okay. I will put Mental Note in my hand. And I will attack for 1 and pass. I am not going to Mental Note this turn, though, because I want Delver to flip. Tolarian revealed. Getting another Island. I trigger Delver. Demon Inferior revealed. Play my Island. Attack. I think I am going to Mental Note before I pass the turn, though. I don't know how many Demon Inferiors I'm going to need in a single game against Tron. And guaranteed hitting spells here is nice. Wow. Fairytron. I wasn't ready. I'm not going to lie. I was not even close to ready for that to happen. All right, I'm going to deem the Spellstutter inferior. Oh, no, I'm not, because I have drawn not enough cards this turn. Okay, that was sick. Well done, opponent. We are up against a brewer. Drawing Demon Inferior, which is an actively horrendous draw at this point. I'm still going to cast it, though. I gotta put spells in my graveyard somehow. Yeah, that Mental Note counter was a huge blowout. That was not only relevant, yeah, like, I knew I was drawing a card I didn't want, and that cost me several mana on my threats. Keeping my graveyard empty is a great way to combat this deck. Crop Rotation, a card that I definitely forgot was legal in Pauper. I have some pretty cool foil versions of that from Eternal Weekend this year, if anyone wants to trade. Any Pauper players want the max bling? Okay, they have Tron now. Everything's about to be harder. Conduit Pylons, another mana fixer, surveils 1 on entry. There's a bunch of Eldrazi that they could play here. MH3 had a lot of blue Eldrazi cards that are pretty powerful right in a spot like this. I played Blue Tron twice for one of my Patreons when MH3 first came out. Oh god. Literally dead to that. In my deck with no removal. Okay. I'm going to ponder and hope they don't have another spell stutter. Counterspell. Okay, I think I have to take the land now. And then I'm going to try to deem this inferior. And hopefully by the time they redraw it, I have that counterspell in my hand. Or they just get me with some mana leak effect here. Moment's Peace. Okay, so they're just generating a singular dope. They've already fogged, so there's no reason to do that. -5 on my spells right now. Ball Drifter. All right. This game is over. I've missed my opportunity to maybe slow them down. Okay, what do we got here? Annul, Dispel, Sleep of the Dead, Steel Sabotage. Maybe I bring in Mystic of my own to try to keep up with their Mystic. Echoing Truth could bounce any number of bird tokens. I don't think Sleep of the Dead is good. We saw Instants in the deck. We saw Artifacts in the deck. Probably want Dispel, Murmuring Mystic. I don't think I want Demon Inferior. That's not how I want to fight this game. We drew multiples of that game and it was bad. Echoing Truth. I can see it. Spell Pierce could be really good in the early game, but will become complete garbage eventually. I'm going to switch one of those to an Echoing Truth. Okay. Tough matchup ahead of us. I will keep this. Tron is the Pauper deck that a few years ago was main decking Relic of Progenitus. I think that's just what we're up against here. I'm going to ponder. Delver, Thoughtscour, Lorien Revealed. I like Delver. The Pylons. This is 1 colorless mana. Surveil to the top, shuffle it away. The combo. They could have cycled Lorien Revealed in response to the Surveil trigger, then you actually get a useful Surveil trigger. Okay, Island Cycle, play Delver. Trying to apply that damage. I want to have some beats in play before my opponent. Heck yeah. Okay. Reveal Thoughtscour. I'm actually going to Mental Note now because I don't want a Thoughtscour, but I do want it in my graveyard. Island. Just going to cram Cryptic Serpent right now. Take the sure thing. Okay, this is the type of start that I'm more happy with against a deck like Tron. Yeah, they're like colorless land, tap land, main phase impulse, facing down 9 damage. This is a game that I can play. Now I have a counterspell in my hand. Thoughtscour me. Land. 1 mana terror. Let's get it. Okay, I didn't actually need that terror, but in case they have Pyroblast for Cryptic Serpent. All right, there we go. That one felt good. The game one felt unwinnable, and then that one felt unlosable. Maybe there's a middle ground, but also maybe not. Do I value Annul if I'm worried about graveyard hate? That's something I want. No, I think I'm just going to try to send it and kill them again. Delver, Serpent, Mental Note. This is a hand I can keep. Tap land. Delver. Okay, we know about Spellstutter Sprite. Okay, now we know we don't need to worry about Spellstutter. Counterspell on top of my deck. Reveal it. Draw for turn. It taps me out of Counterspell to play Mental Note right now, but I think it's correct to do before that gets countered by something else. I can counter a Pyroblast with Dispel. Lorien Revealed is a spell for my graveyard. Yeah, I'd love a Thoughtscour here, but it's not what's happening. They know they have to beat a Counterspell. Hopefully their plan to beat counterspell is their own counterspell that I can dispel. Ghostly Flicker. Okay, so this just draws a card and untaps a land. That's fine. It's a pretty low impact flicker. 3 mana draw card is not a good spell. They found a Tron land that is not the third one. Dump Lorien. 4 spells in the bin. Ponder. That's a spell. It's a spell that gets spell stuttered, though. I think I'm just going to pass, make them answer this Delver before I freak out about anything. Mystical Teachings. I'm going to dispel that. Because this can get an instant aura card with Flash. And if they got a creature with Flash, like Spell Stutter, for example, that would bum me out. Okay, Insectile Aberration attacking. I now have 5 spells in my graveyard for the Serpent. Opponent's really going to have to show up now. And that just resolved. They still know I have Counterspell. They're dead on board through a Counterspell. And they are not casting anything. So they probably have Moment's Peace. And I'll counter the front and back of it. They Counterspell. Oh, they can't even cast the back of it unless they... Yeah, they don't have... They're one short of doing that. Okay. Play this island and attack for lethal. Something's happening. Some cool trick. They have a second Moment's Peace. Weather the Storm. Okay. 11. I could counter one of these, but I am not going to because it doesn't change anything. All right, Weather the Storm's a cool one. And Ponder doesn't change my life here. Terror, Lorien Revealed. I don't want these cards. I'm going to shuffle all of them. Ended up with a Lorien anyway. Red Elemental Blast. This is unfortunately really good. I'm still going to try to counter it, but now if they have Spell Stutter... Or no, my spell costs 2. All right, this spell. We had a fight. They can't flashback Moment's Peace this turn. Deep Analysis. I'll start by attacking for 3. That's definitely happening. And I'm going to Brainstorm. Echoing Truth. Is that even good? I'm going to put back Deep Analysis and Lorien Revealed. Cycle Lorien Revealed. I'm not currently in a position to fight over their Moment's Peace. I could bounce these 2 Energy Refractors. I don't think that makes sense, though. They're probably going to Moment's Peace in my upkeep. And then I just spend a turn analyzing. Yep, you did it. The Dispel right on time. Deep Analysis. Spell Pierce and Dispel up. Or I could send the Deep Analysis again. I could also cast Ponder. I'll Ponder. Mental Note, Thought Scour, Brainstorm. Shuffle that. None of those are what I want. And hit a land drop. I will pass the turn. Bajuka Bog. Okay. That does clear a Deep Analysis that I don't get to use, but I did at least resolve Cryptic Serpent before that happened. Go to my turn. Another Moment's Peace. If I dispel this, I can Spell Pierce it on the back end. Spell Pierce might not have many more homes this game. Draw for turn. But they filtered green. Good news, everybody. Tempo Gaming. The Spell Pierce finding a target on turn 9 against Tron. Attack for lethal. Okay, maybe that matchup wasn't as bad as it felt. The game 1, just the texture of the hand that I kept was not one that was appropriate for the matchup. And then the sideboard games, even though I didn't really sideboard that much, they felt better because I knew that I needed to apply pressure better. Okay, I mean, that was interesting. On to the next one.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the draw in round 3. I'm going to keep the hand. Consistently, what has been an issue is hands that don't apply pressure. Oh yeah. This is a hand I'm going to want to 5-5 and play very quickly against. Okay, that's interesting. The Demon Inferior I can turn on. This double Deep Analysis is horrific. Wow, that's bad. Okay, put back Deep Analysis and Deep Analysis. I was hoping for a Thought Scour or Effect or a Tome Scour. Nope, Tome Scour's mill 5. Mental Note. was hoping for one of those. And I'm just at 15 life before I've done anything. And my hand is not helping. These counter spells will not stabilize the game at all. Got a Ponder. Serpent, but no path to do it. Shuffle. Okay. Can I concede here? I want to. I guess I should play it out a little bit. Maybe learn about their deck. Maybe the Spell Pierce finds a good target. Yeah, you really need mental notes and thought scours if you're gonna keep up with a red deck like this. If I just had a 5/5 in play this turn, I could start blocking, and then I just have to worry about burn. Yeah, there's just not even casting spells. Who needs to? A mental note, that is the card that might save me. Mill 2 spells, draw a terror. Thought scour, okay. Mill 2 spells, draw a terror. I might just be giving my opponent a bunch of information I shouldn't have. Okay. I go to 7 off this attack. I play a 6/5. Okay, I mean, I don't like my spot, but I can put a 6/5 into play next turn when I'm not at 0 life. That's not true. Okay. Okay. This is why the deck has 6 blue blasts in the sideboard. Yeah, you need every one of them. I think that Sleep of the Dead is too slow and shitty here. Deep Analysis, I don't really want to flash that back. Maybe I leave 1 in for the value. I can see Murmuring Mystic going wide and stabilizing this board. Spell Pierce is solid. It is worse than Hydroblast, though. Every card's just worse than Hydroblast. Demon Fury, worse than Hydroblast. The Hydroblast. Counterspell, worse than Hydroblast. Yeah, I'll just do the... cut a bunch of stuff that doesn't impact the board for 6 Hydroblasts and a 1/5. Okay, we know the matchup now. Can keep hands that make more sense. Here we go. Great hand. Textbook hand here. I'm worried about Graveyard Hate. Island Pass. I can Blue Blast if they do something super messed up on turn 1, but normally the messed up stuff starts on turn 2. Fuck! Well, that's bad. Still gonna Thought Scour myself. That's what I'm here to do. There's a land in there. Lorien Revealed, Brainstorm. Okay, if I play this island... Yeah, Relic of Progenitus. Our first real test against Graveyard Hate card. Nobody else has taken this route. We got Bojuka Bogged once after I already had a creature in play. Lorien Revealed's gone. Voldaren Epicure. How do I want to do this? I'm actually just going to counter this because they can pop a Relic for 1 mana whenever they want. If this flushes out a Pyroblast, deal. Okay. That taps them out of Relic for the turn. They draw Demon Inferior. That can clear the Relic. I Brainstorm, put back 2 islands. Cycle Lorien Revealed. Get an island. Deem Inferior this Relic of Progenitus. Get myself 1 turn to cast some Big O's. They could go to their turn, blood into the Relic, replay the Relic. If they have a land to pop the Relic immediately, that's pretty bad for me. If they just tap it, I could at least resolve 1 Big O. Okay. They did put that second from the top. They have the option to put it on the bottom. Synthesizer. Okay, so that's going to hit the Relic. And Relic's back. They can tap it right away. Get one of my spells. If they have a land, they can Wrath me here. If they don't use this, though, I am going to slam a Tolarian Terror. Oh, Kodotha Rebirth, sure. Weird that I'm happy about that, but oh, this Lorien Revealed's really good. It replaces the missing thing and hits my land drop, which means I can stick 2... Oh no. I can stick 1 monster this turn and leave up Blue Blast. That should have been Tolarian Terror. I just lost count. This one reduces by 5 but costs blue. This one reduces by 6, so it's kind of just calculating different things. Yeah, I wish I had the Creature with Ward in play right now. My bad. But I do have a 6/5 in play. Start blocking these dopes. I'm at 18 life. They busted their Relic. Chain Lightning targeting me. 1 card left in hand and a Synthesizer on board. Again, we rebuild. Delver's not bad. I can't attack yet, but I am not dead to this board. Sacking the Synthesizer, flipped Voldaren Epicure. That'll put me to 11 and leave a blood in play. I don't think I counter this. I'm worried about stuff like Goblin Bushwhacker. Or if they chip shot me down to 3, I'm worried about the Lightning Bolt. Thought Scour on top. Give me that. Okay. Dark Ritual. Milled 2 spells, drew a Cryptic Serpent. I can play these Big O's if I'm willing to tap out for them. If one more spell goes into my graveyard or I draw a land, the Blue Blast can be up when I cast a Big O. Goblin Tomb Raider. That's a 2/2. Are they going to start pushing? No. That's good. So land is good, spell is good. There's not very many bad draws in my deck. Spell Pierce, that's probably one of them. There's a helicopter going over my house right now. Sorry if you hear chopper sounds. Spell Pierce pretty bad against the 1-drop opponent who has 5 lands in play. Yeah, I'm not willing to tap out for one of these. I'll just wait till I draw a land or a spell, and then we're in business. This is what we've been holding this for. Hope Pyroblast isn't the last card in their hand with exactly enough mana to play around Spell Pierce. This is cheating. This is cheating. God damn it. Well, Spell Pierce is not getting better. Maybe they'll forget to pay. Am I dead? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm at 1. Alright. Well, that sucked. The Pyroblast does check out as a card that they would have. Okay, block the 3 power things. I go to 1. And don't think I could possibly win. Hydroblast. Block, kill. Yeah, dead. Alright. That was a pretty good last 2 cards in hand from our mono red opponent. But they didn't crack the blood that had been in play for several turns, so clearly they were sitting on something good and just looking for the moment to combo kill me. And I think if I drew the land or the spell last turn, like we talked about, and had 1 more blocker in play, then I'm at 3 this turn, and they have 1 less beater. And then I can dump out Hydroblast. I'm actually stable if I have 1 more spell or a land last turn. That was closer than it looked. Still felt really bad, though. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
Good. All right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables. I'm on the draw for round 4 with a very fast terror hand. The Thought Scours, the Dark Ritual's looking good here. Opponent mulled to 5. Vault of Whispers. Okay. Shamo isn't on the play. That Blood Fountain probably would have been a sicko to Spell Pierce. But I do have Spell Pierce up, and if they don't do anything pierceable, I'll Scour. I hate this guy. Okay. Refurbished Familiar is in. I'll discard Ponder. Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that. That Familiar does ramp my Terror, though. 1, 2, 3 spells in the graveyard. Scour makes 4 plus whatever else happens. All right, I'm going to Scour myself, see if I can just hit this. Nope, hit lands. I'll play Delver. Yeah, they missed their land drop and needed all 3 of these artifacts to play the Refurbished Familiar. On the play, Spell Piercing, Blood Fountain just ends the game. But they did still mull to 5. They're up 2 cards already. Delver, revealed Spell Pierce. I'm going to cycle Lorien revealed. I don't actually want that Spell Pierce. I got that shit already. Another Lorien. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spells in the graveyard. I think I'm just going to hold back. Do I want to trade Delver for this? What else is it going to do? All right, I am going to attack. And I can hold up Counterspell and Spell Pierce this turn, and then play Terror or Serpent for the Jeep on the following turn. Oh, a Forest revealed. Spell Pierce this shit. And then cycle Lorien revealed, and I'm sticking a monster with Counterspell up. Serpent costs more. I'm going to lead on that one, because if I draw a land next turn, I can play Terror with double counterspell up, just for mana efficiency's sake. I'm going to counter a removal spell anyway, so it's not like Ward matters this turn. They started tapping mana and then changed their mind. It might be something like Deadly Dispute, and they'll try to cast it on my turn. Or nope, change their mind. Second main is when we do stuff. It is a Deadly Dispute, and I am going to counter it. They still get to draw for the Wellspring, but they don't draw the other two cards or get the treasure. I don't always advocate for fighting over the draw spells. I tend to try to hit the payoffs, but in a situation like this, where they are just floundering to do literally anything, I could have put Lethal on board and tapped out a counterspell. I always respect these decks, though. There's so many just like bullshit things they can do. Maybe a braver player would have won the game this turn, but this coward will just win the game on the turn after it. It's fine. Deep Analysis, Serpent, which at a 2, Terror. Okay, they got to deal with 3, 5, and 6 power creatures this turn through a counterspell. Writhing Chrysalis. That deals with some of them. I'm going to counter the actual Chrysalis body, though. Okay, cool. It took them mulling to 5, but we did it. A Null looks good here. Murmuring Mystic, I just always like. I don't think I want Sleep of the Dead. Counterspell's a little clunky on the draw. Deem Inferior seems kind of mid. That could remove a Chrysalis, though. I guess I need that. Spell Pierce had a moment that game, but I could play fewer of them. Sometimes my opponent will keep 7. Counterspell versus Deep Analysis. What do I want to cut? Maybe I hedge against Graveyard Hate a little and go Mystic to Annuls. I'm going to try this. They're a Jund Affinity build with Writhing Chrysalis. I don't like that card. I never drafted Modern Horizons 3, which I understand Writhing Chrysalis ruined that format, but I don't love seeing it in Pauper either. Not that I think it like should be banned or anything. Just talking about cards that now exist in the format that weren't super prevalent last time I was hyper invested in Pauper. And Chrysalis is very strong. Okay, 2 Dark Rituals and a Terror. I'm going to keep. Opponent kept 7. Busted. Slagwood Bridge. Asking Brood-Scale. Okay, you're just in on that, so we've got a little Gleezer to action. I milled 2 creatures with that one. I guess I'm just going to pass with Counterspell up because my opponent has put me in check on turn 2. Blood Fountain. Okay. And just adapting for the damage here. Makes sense. End step, Scour myself. Hit another creature and a spell on that one. A Null is really good. Ponder. There are 4 spells in my graveyard right now. Brainstorm Luring Revealed is a combination. Okay. I'm going to pass with Counterspell up. In for 3. I think I'd counter most things this turn. I'm going to value counter this Deadly Dispute, because I'm trying to get spells in the graveyard to dump out these dopes. I need to turn the corner on this opponent. A Brainstorm, put away these 2 islands, as I draw 2 other islands. Probably should have cycled Lorien Revealed to hide information here. That was loose sequencing. Still have to cycle it, though. Tolarian Terror get in. I can annul a Sadistic Glee. And after that, I am digging. Digging and smashing. Boom! 1 mana, playing around Spell Pierce. That was tight. Sideboard card coming in strong. Evolution Witness. I think this gets back the Glee. Yeah, return target permanent card. Okay. Well, I'm back to dead next turn if I don't figure it out. Come on, good card. Son of a biscuit. So they can't adapt next turn. I'm just going to cast Lorien Revealed and try to buy a turn to exist. They can adapt this, get back the Glee, cast the Glee, but this already has a +1 counter on it. Okay, so they had a second Glee from hand. They need a spawn somewhere, though. This doesn't just go. Like, a card needs to die. A creature needs to die. They adapt here, get back the other Glee. They can attack for 4, because if I block, they're going infinite. All right, no block there. All right, deck. Got a lot of looks here. Yes, Deem Inferior is the best of them. Okay, Brainstorm. Multiple Deems. Let's fucking go. Put back 2 islands. Thought Scour myself. Deem your Root Walla inferior. It's still a Root Walla. You can't talk me out of it. Deem your Evolution Witness inferior. Oh, maybe I should have held this Thought Scour. I could have killed one of those things, like for real, for real. Okay, play Terror and attack for 4, 5. Attack for 5. All right, that was a good turn. That was the first time Demon Fury really popped off in this league. Ichor Wellspring. So they're now holding Evolution Witness, and they're drawing Lizard on the following turn. Witness Sadistic Glee, 3 unknowns in the hand right now. Refurbish Familiar. Okay, I'll discard Lorien Revealed. And end a turn, I'll Mental Note. Dump 2 islands, the nuts. Deep Analysis, Lorien Revealed. I'm going to cast Lorien Revealed. If I miss on the land here, it'll be a little disappointing. Okay, little disappointing achieved. But my hand is really good moving forward. I'm going to Mental Note. I could still hit a land drop here. All right, did not hit a land drop. They're at 10 though. So anything they run out here is going to be in chump block mode. They just drew the Lizard. So the hand is Lizard, Glee, Evolution Witness, 2 unknowns. And those 2 unknowns are not lands. It's a safe bet. Okay, Eviscerator's Insight. Now they have a bunch of unknowns in hand. But that did cost them 2 of their 3 precious mana as they're facing down lethal from 2 ward creatures. And Pyroblast is not going to work this turn. Snuff Out leaves them at 1. And they need land plus Snuff Out to even cast it. Okay, cool. That felt pretty solid. Just keep the pressure up and the games are one way. And if you don't apply pressure, the games are a different way. On to the final round. We're a few rounds into the video. If you're still here and having fun, remember to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, use code BOSH for 5% off your order at toamagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the play in the final round. Positive records on the line. Gonna keep my hand, sees a bunch of cards, does stuff. I need a creature, but what else is new? A tapped Razor Trap Gorge. Okay, that is not an artifact land. So this is probably the Madness Burn deck or something like that. Okay, drawing the land is nice. I think getting Delver into play should be my priority here. Like I said, when you're applying pressure, this deck is one way, and when you're not, it's a different way. Vampire's Kiss, loses 2 life, gain 2 life, make 2 bloods. I am going to cycle Lorien Revealed right now. Delver trigger, revealed island, don't reveal it, and then I will Thought Scour myself before I have to draw it. Drew it anyway. Wait, what the fuck just happened? Hold on. Oh, god damn it. Magic Online lagged a little bit, and the island that was revealed was what I cycled for Lorien Revealed in the end step, and I actually just milled a Lorien Revealed. Alright. Well, that's awkward. This is a 3-2. You're at 7. You're at 19. Go. Yeah, the pop-up window said island is revealed, and I was just like, okay, well, I don't want that. Fiery Temper. See if this goes face or if they want to kill Delver with it. They are going face. All right. My face is the place. And end step Mental Note. End step Thought Scour. Yeah, I'm just going to keep going here. There we go. Found a terror. This time it actually is an island. I will not reveal it. That stinks. Okay. Tolarian Terror is in play. Now I'm beating for real. And I have a counterspell. They still have 7 cards in hand. And this deck has a lot of passive life gain. Ugh. It's so awkward because any one of their random deal 3s doesn't seem that important, but eventually you're out of life. Galvanic Blast targeting me. This one's good for 4. Okay, that's different than the random deal 3s because that's a deal 4. Delver revealed Brainstorm. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's play Magic the Gathering. I put back 2 Deep Analysis. Play Island. 5 cards in hand and 3 mana available. Me at 12. I think I have to tap out this turn to play Cryptic Serpent and just hope I don't die. One of us is dead this turn. Faithless Looting. This could be any amount of damage. Realistically, 6 is what I mean by any amount. Discarded 2 Demand Answers. Okay, if all 3 of the cards in their hand are Galvanic Blast, I'm dead, but Faithless Looting, now they only have 2 mana up. Sneaky Snacker, they've already drawn their 3 cards for the turn. Okay, Bolt keeps them alive at 1 life. Okay, I've untapped with Counterspell. I'm not going to cast this Deep Analysis. A creature doesn't save them because of Sleep of the Dead, and they have to deal 12 through Counterspell right now. Grab the prize. Discard a card, draw 2 cards. Okay. You've grabbed your prize. Sneaky Snacker comes back tapped. That doesn't help this turn. 2 cards in hand. Are there 2 cards that deal 10 in the Pauper format? Kitchen Imp can block, except it can't because I have Sleep of the Dead. That's fine. Cool. All right. Ramen Big O's. This is another spot where the 6 Hydroblasts are pretty good. They do have some black spells in their deck. We also saw a Sneaky Snacker. That doesn't mean they have blue mana. It could just be a dope that moves around. Spell Pierce looks good. Deep Analysis. I'm just not going to spend 3 life to do anything in this matchup. Demon Inferior could miss, and Hydroblast just kills most things. Having the 1 Sleep of the Dead does look good. It was nice to have access to that last game when I was trying to figure out how I can lose. And Counterspell can be a little slow, and I'm just bringing in 6 1-mana versions of that card. I'm looking at another Demon Inferior, one of the Lorien Revealeds. And Lorien to hit the land drops is just so good, though. It's the only way to shuffle with Brainstorm. I mean, Mental Note and Thought Scour also clear Brainstorm cards, but Lorien is reliable. This is a 16 land deck. I don't want to play with that too much. Ponder could be too slow. All right, I think it's just Counterspell. Here we go. Hopefully the final match of the league, or final game of the league. We know it's the final match. Let's not get a game 3 here. Make it happen. On the draw, of course, the 5-lander, functionally 5-lander. I do have Delver, though. This is not good. I'm going to mulligan this, actually, in the matchup. Okay, here we go. Hydroblast, 2 lands, keep. I'm going to dump Lorien Revealed. Good on lands, just try to get this Serpent down while I still have a life total. Great for Nache. Lightning bolting me, heads up, before I can counter it with Blue Blast. Bolt you go. I respect it. Plays around Spell Pierce, plays around Blue Blast. They know what their job is. Resolve 7 spells. Pass. Another Dark Ritual. Good news. Grab the prize. I'm actually going to counter this because I don't want that Snacker coming back. And I'm untapping into Counterspell or double Dark Ritual. Okay, pass. If I can just stuff their development, that's pretty powerful. Jagged Barrens deals 1 to me on entry. End step, Mental Note. Tapping out here, they could play some instant speed variant of the Thrill of Possibility, get their Snacker back, but I think it's still right to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4 spells in my graveyard. Delver, go get them. 4 mana, 3 cards in hand. Alms of the Vein. That's fine. If they're casting that the hard way, I'm mostly okay with the situation. I'm going to hold this Brainstorm. I don't think flipping Delver is that important, but it flipped anyway, revealing Hydroblast. That's a good one. Galvanic Blasting this now. And I'll Hydroblast this, that's fine. This is how I'm applying pressure. Also getting spells into my graveyard is good. And now I can just ram this Serpent versus an opponent with 1 card in hand while I'm at 13 life. Yeah, I'm going to stick the Serpent here. They, of course, have cards in their deck that could, like, get back Sneaky Snacker while doing something else. All right. Flying Haste 2/2. They do want to race me. I'll take that race. You're at 20. I just drew a Tolarian Terror. Get it done. Maybe I'm supposed to Brainstorm first because the Brainstorm is functionally free there instead of paying 2 for Terror, but holding Brainstorm, like, make them deal with this Counterspell. Okay, they are dead on board and still attacking rather than blocking. They must have a plan. Maybe it's Pyroblast. Take out one of my creatures. Lightning Bolt. Oh, wow. If they commit a second Lightning Bolt and I counter that, it's so over. It's over. Okay, cool. Putting 5/5s into play feels really good. I've played against this Red-Black Madness deck with a few decks ever since this came into the format, and sometimes it's like really frustrating to try to keep up with their grinding. Like you keep a hand with a Spell Pierce and 2 Hydroblast and you're still just dead and there's nothing you can do about it. Just killing them feels really good. I'll extrapolate just killing them as feeling really good in general. Positive record with Mono Blue Terror. And I'm just going to reiterate what I've been saying throughout the league. The games where you have a turn 2 or 3 Terror or a lead on turn 1 Delver and then you're doing stuff in the background, those games feel really good. The games where you keep a hand with lands and cantrips and then just don't come up with a creature for a while feel really bad. Like part of the control that this deck is offering is that your opponent has to go into the abyss to not die to your big beaters. And if they're not in the abyss, if their creatures get to stick, if their creatures get to do stuff, heaven forbid their creatures actually attack, that's really bad for you and your awkward bounce spells and counter spells that don't matter against a resolved creature. Maybe fiddling with the numbers of getting more creatures in here. Like maybe you just main deck a Murmuring Mystic or something over perhaps the third Deep Analysis. I don't think I got to mill over a Deep Analysis and flash it back even once this league. Obviously, it's a core interaction to the deck, but it didn't really happen, and it bummed me out. I did hardcast and then flashback Deep Analysis more than once, but I could see maybe just like one more creature in here. I'd have to do a Scryfall dive and see what the best one is. But I did like this. It does appeal to me, the play patterns, just figuring out the numbers. And once again, what I like about this deck is the Tolarian Terror, which Dimir Terror also offers. I definitely like the Terror decks more than I like the Fairy decks, though. MTG Goldfish, win rate be damned. I'm very interested in Tolarian Terror. Sorry, Spellstutter Sprite, you know I love you. One step closer to honing in on my deck for MagicCon Chicago. It will probably have Tolarian Terror in it. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon to support the channel, and I'll see you next time.